What is emotional fitness?
Tell me how deep you want to go.
How dare you? You're an adult, you're not a child.
Let's not take it personal. Look around you and trust that feeling. Vulnerability connects people.
It's really, really important.
And now my company is judging me.
Why we are the way we are.
It kind of makes me sad.
People just want to be heard.
Should we be asking different questions?
Believing that men are only to provide and protect. No.
Most men are not able to understand their emotions.
You're not worthy of someone's attention. Oh, that's an unusual answer. Tell me more.
Today's guest is an absolute sweetheart, Rahaf Kobeissi. She's here to talk to us all about our emotions. We feel them every day, but do we really know how to recognize them and how to deal with them? Emotional fitness is something that you need to be practicing daily. When I was coming across your profile and I saw on the headline, it said emotional fitness. And I'm like, what is that? Because we're only taught about physical fitness, right?
Yeah.
No one speaks about emotional fitness. So what is emotional fitness?
It's your relationship with emotions on a day-to-day. Are you aware of what you're feeling, or are you just brushing them off and pretending everything is fine? How do you respond to stress? How do you respond to the end of relationships? How do you respond when a collective, I don't want to say disaster, but when something really bad happens, how do you respond to that? When someone doesn't give you what you want, when someone says something that really triggers every cell in your body, how do you respond to that? Do you gaslight yourself? Oh, I'm fine. No, everything is okay. Everything is okay. So emotional fitness is having the awareness, the tools, and the knowledge to be able to work with them and navigate through everything without getting the need or the urge to distract yourself or to just brush things off under the rug. That's emotional fitness. And emotional fitness, when you combine it with physical fitness and mental fitness, there's alignment.
Okay. I mean, we feel so many different emotions a day, and they're not easy to recognize and then also deal with.
If I ask you now, how are you feeling? What would the first response be?
Fine.
Fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool,
That's not
good.
an emotion.
Fine's not an emotion. Okay.
Fine is not an emotion. No.
I'm feeling wonderful.
Feeling wonderful. Wonderful can be an emotion. That's why I got you the wheel of emotions.
Oh,
This will help expand your vocab when it comes to expressing how you feel,
this is awesome.
be it to yourself or to people around you. So we have primary emotions, we have secondary emotions. There's a huge difference between feeling rejected or disappointed. People don't know the difference. Are you feeling sad, or are you feeling that you're not worthy of someone's attention? Okay. Oh, the latter. Okay, where do you find that on that wheel? Then I can work with it. Because you can't regulate what you don't know. And you can't really, let's say, deal or sit with your sadness if it was anger and vice versa. So fine is not an emotion. Fine is something that we created to hide behind what we're feeling. So it became our automatic response. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm fine. Everything is fine. Is it?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm great.
I'm great. So
wonderful.
One, you're gaslighting yourself. And two, you're lying to other people because you're scared of rejection. You're scared of judgment. You're scared to be misunderstood or not seen or seen because we don't like to be vulnerable. God forbid we show our vulnerability to people. So that's emotional fitness.
Okay. Recognizing it.
It's such a deep rabbit hole. So tell me how deep you want to go.
Don't you choose who you want to be vulnerable with? Like, for example, when I say fine to 10 people in a day, I choose not to be vulnerable with them. Or you're suggesting be vulnerable with everyone?
When we talk about vulnerability, we're not encouraging throwing yourself out there. Yes.
Yeah.
Being intentional, who you open your heart to, is really recommended, at least where I am today. Probably in next year, my answer would be different. But today I would be, yes, be intentional with whom you would like to open up to. But also, on the other hand, why should the answer be fine?
Yeah.
The answer could be as simple as, well, today I feel grateful that I woke up and I get to do the job that I like, to be with the colleagues that I like working with. Grateful, for example. Or you know what? Today I'm feeling a little bit down because 1, 2, 3. Or I'm feeling a little bit demotivated because 1, 2. Why should fine be the answer?
Mhm.
Because when you tell people that today I'm feeling grateful,
Yeah.
they would be like, oh, that's an unusual answer. Tell me more. And then they would pick it up and be able to express how they're feeling or whatever it is. So for a period of time, my answer would always be, I'm feeling really grateful. Life is generous.
Yes.
What does that mean? It opens up a conversation.
Yes.
You know, I'm fine. Good for you. And then the conversation
it
ends.
ceases. If we bring it back to the workplace, it's the first question that anyone asks you. Hey, how are you? How was your weekend? And you're right, everyone just
But
defaults.
do they mean it? Do they really want to hear your answer?
So that goes 2 questions. Should
Yeah.
we be asking different questions?
100%.
What's an example of a question we should be
So
asking?
I heard a question the other day, ask people what is bringing them excitement. Have you done
Okay.
something exciting this weekend? Are you working on something exciting? What was the highlight of your day? So now
Mhm.
I made that like a habit with my partner. We
Yep.
ask each other, what was the highlight of the day? Because if I ask you, how was your day? Even for me, it would be like, it was fine.
Yeah, it's good.
It was good. It was okay. But when you ask someone, what was the highlight? It's going to make them think, wait, what was my highlight? And then little do you know, you had many highlights during the day. Closing a deal, having a good meeting with a client, getting recognition for something you've done, or someone bringing you coffee. You will start to think of a lot of highlights. Mental fitness, because you will train your mind to see things from a different perspective in a different way. And then you will be able to regulate your nervous system. So it's not going to happen overnight, but with practice, you will be able to, for example, in a meeting, when someone asks, why are our numbers, because we're talking about workplace, so why our numbers are low, instead of getting triggered, with practicing all of that, you will be able to catch it. Okay, let's focus on the facts. Let's not take it personal. And what happened with most of us is we take things personal because we're so passionate about what we do.
What we do.
We start to defend. No, I did everything I could. This is not on me.
I've done my 100%.
100%.
And a lot of people blame
100%.
other people.
So no, take a step back, breathe, regulate, and then respond to the question with facts.
In an environment like your workplace, where you have stress, you have politics, you have, competition.
Yeah.
Is it okay to share that bit of emotional fitness, express yourself, be vocal about how you feel?
So could you give me
safe?
an example?
Like, for example, people always come to me as a recruiter and they say, whatever I said was taken out of context and now my company is judging me, right? I mean, the guy was being vulnerable. He was sharing his emotions, how he feels about a process, about a project, about a company. And it's just, taken out of context and now he is being punished for it.
Yeah.
So is it safe for people to engage with their emotions, express themselves?
It's a tricky dance.
Yeah.
It is a tricky dance because you highlighted a very important word, which is the feeling of safety. We feel safe around people who, as much as they can, let's be realistic, we all have judgmental side inside of us. Most of the time, it's not intentional because we project. So if I have a fear around something, I'm going to project it because I think I'm going to protect you. But that's not the case. So safety is very important. And to build safety, you have to build trust. And to build trust, you need proof over time that, okay, I can trust that person. Oh, okay, I can trust that person. But if it's always things getting out of context or my words are not being interpreted the way I was intending to communicate, then where is the trust? So is it safe for us to be vocal about how we feel? We are our own safety nets, and it's up to us to share what we want to share. And if someone doesn't really respond in a way that is positive or safe, then it's up to us to set a boundary or make a choice. Do I still want to be in an environment that really doesn't honor who I am and what I bring to the table, including my emotions?
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying that this is going to be like a relationship where you cry your eyes out, but sometimes it's going to happen, because what I see, unfortunately, in work environments, they tend to forget that they're dealing with humans who have families, who have partners, who have kids. Of course, I'm going to be more emotional than other days. So where is the grace and space in that? Work environments or employers doesn't have that mentality yet.
Yeah.
We're still treating employees as robots. So to answer your question, we need to start top down. That's what I always encourage, that let's work with the leaders of the company, the decision makers first. Help them understand the importance of compassion. How can you be a compassionate leader?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important to lead from your heart? Gone are the days where we have to lead from the mind. Yes, it's very helpful, but the heart will help you become a better human. When you're a better human, your employees will love working with you.
You connect better as well.
And you connect better. I don't want to be working with someone who's always... I'm going to give you an example. Have you watched Suits?
Yeah.
Harvey.
Yeah.
We all started to love Harvey way more when he started getting panic attacks. Why? Because then he put his shield down or his guards down without him doing any... it wasn't his intention.
Mm-hmm.
And the highlighting point of that series was when Mike asked him, should I call the ambulance? No, I'm having a panic attack. He didn't even lie. That's when everyone, I love Harvey. Because they connected with the human behind that strong, macho lawyer.
Yeah.
Vulnerability connects people. Will people sometimes take it for granted? Yes.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it as well.
And take advantage. So, yes, because sometimes by you being yourself and being vulnerable and being just so in acceptance mode of who you are, your emotions. Yes, I can be high in my emotions and I can be low in my emotions. Once you own that, it's going to trigger people.
Yeah. It's difficult, especially we're in such a dynamic workplace. We have different cultures. We have different upbringings. And for me specifically, I feel like upbringings plays a massive role in this region in the Middle East, especially a lot of people coming from war-torn countries, and they're coming in with this resilience mindset, 100%. This mindset
100%.
about, I have to provide. I'm always constantly under pressure. They don't express emotions. I mean, my parents fled Lebanon in the war to Australia, and I could see my dad, they were just constant survival mode. How do I provide for my children? How do I create a safe environment? And they never really thought about themselves. And I reflect back on those environments, and I just think that their emotions were just nothing about them and everything about everyone else. And that just it kind of makes me sad. It makes me sad a lot, I feel like that's what caused my father's heart failure. The stress. I think the stress in an environment really brings someone down. And that's why for me, it's so important to regulate emotion. It's really, really important.
Thank you for sharing that. And yes, our upbringing, if it wasn't the only reason, it is the biggest reason of why we are the way we are. Just last night, we were having a conversation about being so regulated to allow joy and success to find you and for you to be able to receive them. Because no one teaches you, when you get out of survival mode, how can you enjoy life after that? So success or love or money or whatever that is. But because our nervous system is not regulated and no one taught us how to do that, so the receiving is way harder than surviving. That goes because we have seen our parents struggle at some point in their lives to bring food to the table. Everything is about money. Save your money for a rainy day. Do that. So we got those mindsets where we're always scared. We're always anxious. We're always thinking of the worst. When the good happens, you don't know what to do with it. So you sabotage it.
Rahaf, for myself, and thank you for sharing this, Robin, because growing up, my parents were like, if I fall, you'll be fine. it's okay. Move on. No, it's fine. You're fine. You're okay. You're a boy. All of those things.
Oh, you're a boy.
And
don't open that subject.
And I feel today, I think most men do as well. They're not able to understand their emotions. So
Oh, Ali, thank you for opening this subject. Yes. I work mostly with men. And the minute they realize that they have a space that they could just be, they start crying. That's the first reaction. The first time it happened, I was like, woof, like, what is it that you're carrying? But it's the shame of being a man, the responsibilities, the baggage, the fear of being misunderstood or judged, because a lot of clients come to me and say, but what would my wife think if she knew I was stressed because of this or because of that? So not only they don't understand their emotions, they have trained themselves to just act as if that sigh is a confirmation. That's all I need.
Yeah.
That sigh. Oh, someone said it.
Yeah.
I feel that we are now in the time of deconditioning. So whatever we have been conditioned to think or to believe, now is the time to decondition, which means believing that men are, their jobs is only to provide and protect. No. Let's expand that belief into providing to yourself also the peace of mind, the joy, having quality time with yourself and your loved ones, having a regulated nervous system. You don't have to stress. You don't have to worry about this or that. Most of the time, men are worried about things that are never going to happen. Hence the heart failure. If you look at the statistics, most men, 3 times more than women, heart attacks and suicides. Because of this created scenarios in their head and the voice that is so loud telling him he's not worthy, he's not enough, and he's supposed to be something to be loved. So how do we break the cycle? We just one step at a time, and we start with ourselves. You will never be able to help someone feel safe if you don't feel safe with your own body and with your own emotions.
How would you manage a leader that comes with a heightened emotion and is not able to regulate, and you're in a situation, because that happens. I've had some bosses previously.
All the time.
Like, who needs to step up? And I feel like emotional regulation, because I'm such a fan of it, I've been working on it a lot. And I love it because like you said, it changes everyone around you so much and it makes you feel better. But I've also been in situations where I was like with really nasty bosses, and I'm just like, instead of being the kind Robin thinking, oh, what's going on? Maybe something bad happened at home. I'm like, how dare you? You're an adult. You're not a child. Regulate your feeling, do something, hold it, and react later. So in that moment, it's just like overwhelming. And like you said, it happens quite often. So what do we do in that situation?
You just focus on yourself, unfortunately, because you can't help someone who's not willing to help himself, or even worse, who doesn't see there's a need to do things differently. Because in his mind, this is how things are done. This is what we have been doing for 50 years and it has been working. Unless they see something is not working. So in a working environment, when, for example, the team, let's say a team of 10 people, when the 10 have made like a mutual decision that this is not right, and they speak up about it and they show examples of why it's not working, most likely the leader will need proof. When you do not regulate your emotions, or we feel demotivated, not seen, not heard, we don't know how to do our jobs or whatever that is. So you start with I statements. And then when you help us by regulating your emotions, it makes communication easier. It makes negotiating easier. It makes us brainstorming ideas and solutions easier. When we are in a tensed situation or scenario, it's not going to help anyone.
Yeah.
Here are the numbers or the deals or the clients or whatever it is to prove it. And then it's up to him to say yes or no. But at the end of the day, it starts with you, because if you are regulated, you will be able to think of more conscious answers and replies and suggestions or whatever it is, and not take what he's or she is doing personally.
Yeah.
That's when, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we're all little kids that we have a backpack of fears and rejections and stuff that we have been carrying.
Backpack.
Yeah.
That was a nice visual.
But that's true. Because if someone says something and the word might not mean to you much, but it's going to mean to you, that's your trigger. It came from somewhere. So it's tricky to work with leaders, because unless they see that something really is going down the hill, they won't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather that we finally decide to do the work, whatever that work is, before the disaster happens, before the burnout, before the depression, before the panic attack. Start early. But we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
I'm absorbing it all.
Rahaf talked about thinking, self-awareness, communication, setting boundaries, all of that. If I need to be physically fit, I'll go to a gym. If I need to be emotionally fit, what should I do? Where should I go?
Work with me. If you want to be emotionally fit, that's a very good start, which is asking yourself, okay, what is it? What is the most dominant emotion that I'm either avoiding or I'm suppressing? Mm-hmm. Start from there. Okay, why? Work with an expert. It could be a therapist, a psychologist, or someone who can guide you and hold your hand while you're doing it, because it's going to be nasty. Whoever says that, yes, let's do the work, it's going to be beautiful, it's nothing close to beautiful.
It's messy.
Because that means you're going to be eye to eye with all of the things you have been hiding and avoiding and suppressing. You're going to connect the dots. Oh, this is why I snap when I'm in this situation.
The reality.
This is why I lose my temper when I'm in this situation. Yeah. Oh, this is why I don't cry often. You will start to unmask and getting to know the real Ali, and it's going to be scary.
Because, what's a question you ask? What's a question that you ask when you're with the client to really surface their feeling?
To open them up.
Well, with me, it doesn't take much effort. All I have to do is we start with the wheel of emotions. Mm-hmm. What are your dominant emotions?
Okay.
And we start working from that. Because if someone came to me and said, for example, my dominant emotions are frustration and anger and this, okay. And then we dig deep. And I have a tool that, because not everything is one size fits all. So I work with a tool that's called human design. So what works for you might not work for you, because we're designed differently. Have you heard of it?
No.
Human design. No. That's something we can talk about later. But to answer your question, every client is different.
Yeah.
The way they respond to things is different. The way they feel things, they're different. So when I get those insights, I would be able to help them. Okay, this is what works for you. And let's start with that. So I have a client, for example, who needs a lot of me time to regulate and to recharge. Other clients have to be around people. And this has nothing to do with being an introvert or extrovert. It's just the way they're designed. With the person who needs a lot of me time, we had to teach him how to communicate that to his wife, to his team, to his boss. When that happens, when that urge comes, how to communicate that.
Okay.
So we had to regulate his nervous system to feel safe, to ask for what you need. Because when you do that, they're going to see the impact of your work and how you show up. But what if I got fired? What if this? Then you get fired and you find yourself a new job.
Recognize the most heightened emotion that you have constantly.
Yes. Recognize the most heightened, that's a very nice word, or dominant emotion. And then, okay, what can I do to make it less heightened? We're not going to deal with it fully, less. If you are frustrated all the time, okay, where do you feel yourself frustrated most of the time? Is it at work or all the time? Is it around specific people or when you're on your own?
Mm-hmm.
Because these are completely different approaches. If you're on your own, what is it that you're doing that is so disappointing to you and that is causing you frustration? If with specific people, what are they doing? What are they not doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah. No, I'm actually starting to think about the emotions that I feel
So,
that
for
are most
example,
heightened.
I'm someone who is deeply connected to her gut.
Yeah.
And that's something I can't explain to people. And when I met my partner, I was like, listen, sometimes I'm going to be like, I don't like this person and I don't know how to explain it. But that's my gut telling me there's something about that person that feels off. I might not be able to prove it to you, but with enough time, you might start to trust it the way I do. And it was so weird telling people, even the clients that I work with, like sometimes I'm going to say things just because my gut told me to.
Mm.
Wait, what? With time, they started to see that, oh, she's right. It works. It's the same when it comes to emotions. If you're feeling frustrated or if you're feeling sad and you don't know why, look around you and trust that feeling. Trust it. Because we go back to when I said we gaslight ourselves. Maybe I'm just having a bad day. Maybe it's not them, it's me. Maybe we don't look for the clues that we're getting or receiving and we don't do anything about them and we just brush it off because I don't want to be misunderstood. I don't want to be judged. I don't want anyone to call me weird. I don't want anyone to say I'm too emotional. God forbid women have emotions, for example.
Yeah.
No, I want to be taken seriously. Both can coexist.
Mm-hmm. So why are women called emotional? Because I feel like
it has been going on for so many years. Now, where did that start? I don't have enough information around that because I don't care. But what I do care about is enough telling women that they're being too emotional when they show empathy.
Yeah.
Or when they show compassion, or when they say something with so much excitement. Tone down. I don't want to tone down. You tone down.
So
for example,
is the context that there's too much emotion in the moment, like you're giving like 10 different emotions, or is
it's different from one moment to another? But because we have been taught that in a workplace we have to be composed and contained and calm and collected all the time with no emotions. When a woman, and I say woman, but it could be also with men, but for women, because most of the time when a woman shows emotion, for example, it always goes back to, are you being hormonal?
Oh, yeah.
And then she gets really upset. Like, what do you mean? That's what I meant.
Okay.
So in that case, in that scenario, when a woman's nervous system is regulated, she's not going to take it personal and she's going to focus on the fact and the core subject. Don't drift away from the main topic.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. And this is what I'm trying to communicate. If you're going to drift away from the main topic, so you tell me, what are you afraid of?
That's so funny. I think husbands say it to all their wives all the time, randomly. And I remember I looked at him so composed and I was like, actually, I'm not. I'm pretty bothered. And he was like, oh. Like I said it so calmly. And usually you wouldn't. You usually be a bit erratic saying,
100%.
Oh,
100%.
No, but I said it so calmly. He's like, oh, okay, something's bothering you. Let's talk. And I was like, gosh, that just changed the whole environment.
See? Yeah. Because when you are reflecting that calmness and confidence, this is what I'm feeling. No, I know the difference. I am bothered. Okay, then the person's going to receive it. Oh, okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so much better.
There's no room for any kind of confusion or misunderstandings because you're so confident and clear and connected. You're connected to what you're feeling. And to reach that point, it takes a long time because it's going to require practice, trial and error, putting yourself out there, risking to be vulnerable or to be seen as vulnerable and standing up for it. Yes, today I'm feeling sad.
Yeah.
Rahaf, you both said this about, let's talk, right? And with women, being heard is important. Talking it out is important.
Say it louder. Yes.
And I think as a leader, managing women for so long now, I know it's important to hear them out. What I've seen with men as colleagues, subordinates, they would say they would want to talk it out, but they would need an immediate action to be satisfied. Whereas with women, you just hear them and you say, "Don't worry, I'm there. It will be fine. It's fine, right? They'll be okay." But with men, it's not okay. They're like, "Where's my action? Right? I need to see results." Why is that?
You want the truth?
Yeah.
That's a conditioning. Men don't need action, but because they have been taught, again, that without action, you're not a man. You're not mad enough. And your worth is connected to how much you bring to the table in terms of productivity and performance. So your worth is connected to your action. So you would be surprised of how many men would just come to my sessions and say, today I just want to let things off my chest.
Yeah.
I really just want to talk it out. And I think his name is Sahil. I'm not sure about the name, but he has a book. And in his book, he introduced a tool. It works like magic, women and men. When someone comes and says, I really need to talk, or I'm having a day, or whatever it is, I always now ask, okay, do you want to be heard, hugged, or helped?
All three.
Sometimes it's all three. Okay, which one? Let's talk. So I'll hear you, or I'll listen to you, and then I'll hug you, and then we'll find a solution if it was all three. But sometimes, and most of the time, and I said it in my book, people just want to be heard. Because sometimes when you hear things out loud, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels good.
I'm fine. Okay. That's why journaling is important. That's why having someone you trust and you feel safe around to talk to is really important, because it's not as big as it is, but I just need it off my chest. So men also need to be heard.
Regardless if you're a man or a woman, you have your emotions, you have these feelings, and then there is life, and then there are goals.
Beautiful.
Do you see that high achievers, men or women, they tend to almost sacrifice their emotional expression, fitness, whatever you want to call it, over their ambition? Because I'll tell you my story. 8 years I've been in this business. I've built this business. I've laid out the carpets two offices ago, right? For this company. And my mother passed away during that time. And I was just absorbed in work. My go-to was, I just need to be busy. I didn't express my emotions to anyone, but I built a business and I was quite good at what I did as well. And I was successful. And I've seen this with people, that they would focus on what they want to do, their goals, and they will not express, because they'll put, as you said, they'll put it under the carpet by saying there's no time for it.
Well, let me ask you, do you feel like you have sacrificed
Emotional fitness,
your
over
mental
ambition?
health? This is no longer. Here's the difference between mental health and emotional fitness, right? Mental health is like the engine or the car, and emotional fitness is what drives it. This is the foundation. And this is what we do to keep the foundation strong, the tool.
Well, thank you, because I didn't know. Most people confuse it as well.
You can be working on your mental health by going to a therapist, for example, without the emotional regulation tools. And you can be very good in regulating your emotions, but mental health is really, you're feeling depressed, or you're feeling anxious, or you have another disorder, whatever that is. So they do come hand in hand, but that doesn't mean that if your mental health is good, means you're good in emotional fitness, or vice versa. That's one. And two, may I be as transparent as possible?
Please.
Perfect. Look at you soothing yourself while you shared your story with me. You're so uncomfortable. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
I would love it if you just allowed yourself a moment to think of how human the story is. We all have lost someone dear to us at some point. And we didn't allow ourselves to grieve, because grieve means failing ourselves or failing people around us. But what if we reframed it into grieve means there was so much love to honor and celebrate? And by doing that, I'm going to take a minute or a month and allow myself to feel all those emotions. It could be crying. It could be taking a month off. It could be just looking at pictures and messages. And grief is different from one person to another. Rather than punishing yourself for something out of your control and distracting yourself in a work and then say with a micro expression on your face, yeah, but I was successful. You're convincing yourself with a story that is not true. Because I can guarantee you 80%, 85%, you don't feel successful. You seem and you look successful, which is great. That's the image. That's the brand. But do you feel successful?
Do successful people feel successful?
Do you feel successful? Now I have diverted the conversation to you.
I'm in a business where you're as good
have
as
you
your...
felt the grief?
I've felt the grief. I'm in a business where you're as good as your last assignment. And every 12 months, the cycle rotates. I will feel successful. I felt successful last year. Do I feel successful today? No. So your answer would be subjective based on timelines for me. If you look at the holistic picture, the body of work over the last 12 years, if I compare myself with other people in the same arena, in the same field, am I successful? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So based on their metrics of success.
Again, I'm looking at performance metrics in terms of
exactly.
revenue,
so if
consistency,
we all of
those things.
So let's play with me. It's a game. Remove all of that, the expectations, the metrics, the KPIs,
all of that.
Yeah. Remove them.
Yeah.
Based on your definition, in your head, you don't have to share it with us. What you really think success is. Do you feel successful?
No.
That would be your starting point. What needs to change? And start doing it and see who can help you with it. And it's scary, but it's worth it. Because if at the end of the day, I come to you and ask if today was, God forbid, was your last day and you're on your deathbed, what are your if only? It's going to be a long list.
Yeah.
I don't want that for you or for anyone. Life is too short to do something you don't like, and it's too long to be doing things you hate.
Let me ask you a question like that. What is the emotion you struggle with to express?
That's a good question. I struggle to express. I'm quite more comfortable now to express. So even when I'm not aware of the emotion, I would be like, I'm feeling something. I don't know what it is. And it's really uncomfortable. And I can feel the heat in me. So I just need a minute to grasp it or to understand it. Lately, it's been okay with the expression. But I think the emotion that really sometimes hits a nerve is the internal emotions. Like when something really happens and you have to feel proud of it. And I don't feel proud of it because I feel like it's okay, it's fine. I think the feeling would be proud. I don't know how to express proud or pride of myself, or I downplay
Why?
things.
I mean,
I'm now on a journey to discover why.
Because when you gave me the book, I was like, you should be so proud. And I saw it in your face.
And I was silent. I was taken back, like, okay.
And then you're just too hard on yourself as a result.
I always say, when you reflect on your self-talk, the way you talk to yourself, if there's something you wouldn't say to a loved one or a stranger or a kid, stop saying it to yourself. Then I'll be silent.
That's a nice space. Surrender. You know, when my father had passed away, the most beautiful thing, but also the thing that kind of stressed me the most, was this one statement that I heard from a friend that had also lost her father years before. She said to me, she's like, no emotion is permanent. So I was like, that's so beautiful. And that's also so sad, because that comes with happiness as well, right? We just, all the beautiful.
It's temporary.
Everything's temporary.
Everything's temporary.
So that kind of made me, I'd say, surrender to a lot of the emotions. And that's, I would say, my point where I started to really recognize, not recognize this many. I have a whole nother exercise to go through. But when I was able to realize that every emotion has a cycle and some emotions last longer than others.
100%.
Yeah.
That would be a great, so I do it. So for example, if I'm feeling sad, okay, and I feel like my heart is really breaking over something that I'm feeling terribly sad about, I would say, Rahaf, you're feeling sad. It's okay. This is just in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
It might last longer than you expect, but that's fine. That's okay. You're safe to express your sadness in any way you want. And then you feel like you're hugging your inner child, they call it. But I feel sometimes that I'm hugging my Rahaf, the younger version of me, and I'll be like, it's okay. No one is here to shout at you for you being sad. Be sad. And it's temporary. It's okay. It's going to pass. I don't know when, but it's going to pass. Do as best as you can. And with this, you have accepted, because sometimes people think that emotional freedom or emotional regulation means being delusional about something. That's toxic positivity. So that's an amazing practice, which is acknowledging that this moment will pass.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was a good one, be grateful for it, really enjoy it. And if it was a bad one, sit with it. Mm-hmm. And it's okay. You're safe. It's going to hurt, but it's okay. It's going to pass.
Rahaf, what a beautiful conversation. Honestly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think we all felt the energy in a lot of the chats. We were just kind of holding space, but thank you for opening up and
thank you.
Obviously being very honest with us. Yeah, that was really nice. Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was such a heavy but beautiful episode. Honestly, I need a hug right now. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on our socials on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. See you next time.